Hi everyone, Jennifer Porco here with another Community Spotlight. Today I'm sitting down with Mackenzie Snoddy, the owner of Mack Truck Moving. Moving is such a huge part of selling your home, whether you're downsizing, relocating, or just making a fresh start. So I thought it would be really helpful to bring in an expert who knows all of the ins and outs about making a move smooth and stress-free. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started.
It all starts back from Rooms to Go. I used to be a houseman at Rooms to Go and kind of do furniture deliveries on the side. You know, one day I just ended up answering a Craigslist ad to help a moving company, a local moving company, and been moving ever since. Probably been moving for about almost 20 years now.
Nice.
Been in it ever since.
So you've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot. I'd say I've seen it all, but when you say that,
something comes out to surprise you.
There's always something. So
always.
I've never seen it all.
So what makes your moving company different from others in the area?
Well, I feel like with my company, we do actually care about your stuff. We don't have guys walking around smoking, and we like to take the utmost care of your furniture. So everything is going to be blanketed and wrapped. And so we really strive for, I like to say perfection. Obviously that's not a thing, but we like to strive for perfection as far as getting in there, loading it up and making sure everything is just, you know, taken care of. So I feel like that's what separates us.
I think too, what's important for people to understand is you're the owner. Like, you are the person in contact. So it's not like when you call some of these bigger moving companies, you get subcontracted out to people. Right. Like, you're the main person. So you definitely have a vested interest in making sure that the customer is taken care of.
Absolutely. I know when some companies get bigger, they start to franchise off. Ultimately, they're just in it for the money, and they don't even know the inner workings of their company. I'm very hands-on. I'm on site. I do all the quotes. So I get to see firsthand, you know, what we're getting into, and I can let the guys know, and then we're all able to get it done. I get out there with the guys, and I enjoy doing it.
And the customer's not going to have a big surprise, like a big change in pricing and, you know.
Absolutely not. That's something I have seen on a lot of bigger companies. When I go there and do the quote, final is final. If we agree on a price, I'm not going to change the price. The only time pricing would change, as I do with the caveat, is if you decide to make an extra stop somewhere, as far as now we're going to another state, or you know what, this plan's changed. That's the only time when something like that would occur. But we do not do any just random price changes, and especially when I already know, you know, what to expect.
Right. So how far do you go? Like, as far as from Knoxville to, I think you went to Florida recently?
Depends on how far you need to go. We go everywhere, you know. Been to California, Oregon, Missouri. We go everywhere. So Texas.
Oh my.
Yes. We, you know, there's no place that we're not going to go. Well, within the United States.
Continental, like where you can drive to.
Right.
So keeping that in mind, how far in advance should somebody call you to schedule a move?
As far as being in advance, really honestly, as soon as possible. You want to allow yourself plenty of time, you know, for me to come in and assess the situation. So we do offer free in-home quotes for local. Then that's when I will go in there and assess and see what's all is needed. A lot of times people will get in trouble with not really planning the move, not getting it on time. Right. The biggest thing is getting ahead of it. So if you have a moving date, go ahead and start planning for packing. You got to start planning for that. And also, as far as for downsizing, you just really got to get ahead of things, especially if there's things that you got to sell. That's the biggest kicker. I've been guilty in the past of procrastinating. So
I think we all have.
And moving is one of those things where you really can't procrastinate.
Right. Yeah, like when it's time to go, you got to get out. So do you offer like packing services?
Yes,
like
we do.
You'll pack some things? Okay.
Yes. We offer full in-home packing.
So that's why you need time.
Right. We'll bring all the boxes and supplies, and we'll make sure we wrap everything up for you and pack it. Absolutely. And so we'd like to usually do that sometimes on the day before.
Right.
You know, every job varies from house to house. So.
Very good. What would you say that one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're planning to move is not planning, like not allowing themselves enough time?
That is the biggest kicker right there. You got to really get over top of it. I have been in plenty of houses where that was rushed and things weren't packed. They were still trying to pack as we already had the truck loaded. So that would be the biggest thing. Just try to plan your move.
Yeah.
Try to plan your move as fast as you can. You know, you'll feel more at ease too.
Yeah.
Be able to come to your home, put a plan in place so that get the house moved.
Yeah. I know out of all the times that I moved, so I moved 3 times in a 7-year period.
Right.
And every time, I mean, the very first time I started 6 months in advance, going through closets and digging through and getting rid of the stuff that wasn't worth transporting from one house to the next.
Right.
So I think a lot of people have a lot of that stuff you know, it's just collecting dust. It's not really being used or anything like that. So
yeah, that kind of stuff that's collecting dust and not being used. If we're talking about downsizing, well, 6 months is great. That almost never happens.
yeah,
but
I'm an over planner.
yeah, that's a lot of time. Typically, I'd say if you can get in even over a month or two, if you're able, you know, if you ever have that kind of time, that really will play a difference. And if you're downsizing for a couple, you know, it would really be beneficial to just start seeing if you can get rid of and start selling some things. You know, some things are going to be non-negotiable, family heirlooms,
right,
and things of that nature. And for that, I would suggest, you know, possible putting those type of things in storage. Definitely would have to kind of go through and decide which furniture could and could not fit as far as on there. And then we'll start condensing, and then they can start selling it and have enough time to get rid of the.
And that was what I did is, you know, we had garage sale. I donated a bunch of stuff. I gifted things and we were only in our house for 15 years. So I can't imagine somebody that's been in there. I mean, I can because we did it with my grandmother, but someone that's been in their house 50 years, you know, all the stuff that accumulates that you forget about. And so I think, like you said, it's really important to try to get ahead of all of that.
It's definitely key to get out ahead of it as much as you can, if possible.
Because moving is expensive. Putting that stuff in a truck, that's valuable real estate.
Right.
So the more space you take up, you know, do you want to take it up with stuff that you really don't care about it, you know?
Right. Moving it is not cheap. If you're ready to go, it's going to save time. We're not rushing trying to pick up little things. Little things really slow us down. So as far as, you know, if we're having to pick up multiple things that weren't put in the boxes correctly, or we're not, you know,
wrapped and
if we're just, you know, coming to the truck and grabbing, you know, one thing, two things at a little time, when you could have, you know, maybe had 20 or 30 things just all in one box. You know, those are time eaters right there. As far as on there.
So for someone that is downsizing, what are your tips to make things easier?
I would tell them to focus on things that they like, the furniture. So if they're downsizing from a 4-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, you gotta let 2 bedrooms go.
Gotta let some stuff go. Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because what I found through all of my moves is that every new house that we went to, like the living room and the dining room furniture, did not match the space or the area. Florida stuff doesn't look right in Colorado.
Right. Absolutely.
Or Florida stuff doesn't look right in Tennessee. Like it's a different vibe. And then what I found really helpful when we moved, we got rid of the bulk of our furniture because, you know, my kids, they had put some miles on our stuff, right? We just got rid of it. Yeah. And so when we got to our new place, we went shopping and found what we liked. And then when they came, put it there. Oh, I don't like it there. Can you move it over there? Like, it made moving so much easier. And then you give them $20 bill for lunch and see you later. So that was really nice. But yeah, and so that furniture that we weren't in love with didn't take up space for moving. So
absolutely
saved money that way. I know this is a question people are going to want to know. Are you bonded and insured?
Yes, we are. We have our policy and everything. You know, hopefully I never even have to use it.
Hopefully. But that's good reassurance because you're not just some guy that bought a moving truck and decided to go into business.
We like to take care of everybody. Things do happen throughout the moving industry. Luckily, I have a good community of, you know, resources and people that, you know, are able to help me out whenever I need it.
So if someone does call you for an estimate, how does that work?
Someone calls me, we figure out a time and date in which to come to your location. And then once I get there, I'll walk around the house. We'll talk and see what furniture goes, what stays. Typically, I have a really pretty high success rate of knowing how long it's going to take. Not seeing the new house plays a little bit of a factor, but I'm able to basically piece together the job, have a nice quote for them. So at that point, I can either email them or whatever they prefer. If they prefer a text message, I can, or a paper statement or email. We can then provide the quote of what we'd be looking like.
Okay.
And sometimes we can do the fixed quote. Sometimes we can give you a range, but
right. It's all dependent on each situation. Can you share one success story about a client that you helped that it made a big difference?
I like to say that happens often.
Yeah. Well, just one. We only have time for one.
We had a sofa. It was a kind of a wider sofa, and it was too big for the hallway, so it would not go through the hallway to get to the bonus room. We turned it every way to figure it out. Then I noticed a certain window in the bonus room. was like, I think we could actually get it through this window. Turns out the window guy was there anyway, so it made it easier. We pulled the window up, and it was just a really giant opening, and we were able to take the sofa, put it on top of the truck, and I climbed up there, and we passed it through the window on from the second floor.
Wow, talk about creative thinking.
And it's happened a few times, but if it's possible.
And that's the thing with a lot of these houses, like our house is a tri-level, so going up that upstairs level, the ceiling is low. It's tricky to fit some furniture in there.
It can be difficult. King beds and mattresses, and they, you know, a lot of places are not really built for a king mattress and box spring, and Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Moving, it can be difficult. It can be very difficult and stressful. That's where we would come into play. We would like to take your stress away, make things easier for you. I can have a plan set up for you to really make things go much smoother. Just showing them that, hey, there's an easy way we can do this. Your house will be a home sooner than you know it. Yeah.
Now, okay, so just some personal stuff, because you kind of glossed over your background. So you told me before that you were going to school for engineering.
Yes, I was.
So tell me a little bit more, like your dad was an engineer.
I was born in Washington State. We moved to Idaho Falls. From Idaho Falls, we moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, about 89, a few years ago.
Just a couple.
We've been here since. My dad was an engineer, nuclear engineer. He worked at Oak Ridge, so we've been there since. I went to Farragut Elementary, middle, and then halfway in between the middle, I went to Knoxville Christian School all the way up until 7th grade. And then I went to A.O. Lotz. I think that was like when it was kind of new.
Right.
And then from there, graduated from Bearden High School.
So basically, even though you moved around a lot, you're pretty much a local. Yeah. You've been here the majority of your life.
I have. My accent probably doesn't sound from here, but yeah, I am pretty much from here.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I know it's going to be so useful for people.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Moving can be one of the most stressful parts of selling a home, but having the right team makes all the difference. If you'd like to learn more about Mack Truck Moving, I'll drop their contact info below and you can reach out directly. And as always, if you're thinking about selling your home or you just want resources to make the process smoother, I'm here to help.